Stay safe to have more fun. The Ride Hard, Ride Safe Minute in collaboration with Recco, the advanced rescue system.
The Ride Hard, Ride Safe Minute, and believe me, he knows everything about that. Henry
right.
with us here in the studio.
Riding hard and riding safe.
Riding hard and riding safe, that's what we all do. I've got a question for you, and this week is: what factors increase the avalanche danger? Tell me all.
Well,
I would say that skiing is quite a factor. If you don't go skiing,
well, I guess if you define the danger, if there is someone who's exposed to the danger, because if someone's not exposed,
there's no danger. It's just a lovely avalanche in the distance.
It's a bit like if the tree fell in the forest. What is that? There's something about the tree that fell in the forest. Did it really happen?
Somebody get him his Alzheimer medicine now, please, guys. Show some respect.
Sound.
If the tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, and
no one's there to hear it.
And no one's there to hear it. Did it make a sound? That was what I was getting at. Yeah.
Anyway,
so if there's an avalanche and it came down and no one heard it, did it make a sound?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that didn't really work, did it?
Not well.
So
no.
So what increases the avalanche danger? Well, obviously at this time of year, the rapid warming will increase the danger. But what's more intrinsic, much more important in terms of the danger is if there's the layering in the snowpack. And this year, one of the things that's increased...
Sorry, did you say intrinsic?
Yeah.
You realize this is the Froggy Show?
Yes, I know. I thought it would go above your IQ level, so that's why I changed the word to more important. So there's the weak layer of snow that we've been talking about this whole winter that is more or less every winter we get it, but this year we've got a weak layer that's a lot more pronounced. So that is because of cold temperatures and little snowfalls. So that's that combination right now. Very weak layer and rapid warming is what increases the danger at the moment. And also you have to be on a slope that's at least 25 degrees or more. 25 degrees. You know how steep 25 degrees is, Froggy Fred? If you compare it to like a green run,
to what? Come on, tell me.
red
Hit me
run,
there.
black. Yeah, I just did. I just hit you with it.
I never. No.
Huh?
I know. Do you know,
Take a guess.
Kenny? Do you know what 25 degrees is?
Blue run.
Blue run.
Blue run. Do you know, Becky?
25 degrees. Blue run. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
No, it's about a steep part of a red run. So actually, if you're on a pretty steep slope, then that increases the danger. And right now we have a weak layer and rapid warming, so that's something to watch out for sure. But I would just like to say also that most accidents happen on northish facing slopes in December, January, and February.
Why is this?
That's because of this was, I was just saying, the unconsolidated snow from the cold temperatures and weak layer. And the danger persists longer on north-facing slopes, but also, as you said, pointed out very correctly, that the more that you have to have skiers to have danger as well, and we tend to ski more on north-facing slopes.
A lot of avalanche are triggered by skiers. No?
Most of 90% of the time,
90%,
the victim of an avalanche triggers the avalanche themselves, and 90% of the time,
and 50% of the time is a pister with explosives. Bastard.
But you know also. What kind of avalanche is mainly involved with an accident?
Okay.
Well, it was a question.
What?
Okay.
Talk to Becky.
Becky,
I'm obviously lost in my technique.
Sorry,
I'm not 100%
I'm firing
here.
away. I'm having so much fun.
I know, and I'm
your
ruining
head
it all.
spinning around. All right, Becky, do you know what type of avalanche is mainly involved with the accident? If 95% of the time, it's the victim that triggers an avalanche. And it's got to be on a slope about 25 degrees, which is or above, which is steepness of a pretty steep red run, very steep red run or black run. What kind of avalanche is the type of avalanche that's involved in most accidents?
Wow, that makes a lot of difference with talking to me, doesn't it?
No idea.
You've been publishing my articles all winter. You don't read them. Avalanches.
I do read the slab avalanche.
Yeah.
There you go.
So slab avalanche is opposed to a point release avalanche, and there's been lots of point release avalanches around. If you notice, a lot of the avalanches that have gone naturally, that haven't been triggered by people, start in a little point.
Yeah, and then they get bigger and bigger.
They get bigger and bigger, like an upside down V.
Yeah.
So most of those are natural. They're not triggered by people. Although I think the accident on the Fast de Belvard, the Fast de Charvet on Friday, I think that was actually a natural avalanche because those all were point releases. Although sometimes people can initiate the point release as well. Does that make sense? Yeah?
It does,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep.
So they're deep ones at the moment, aren't they? They go
Test
all the way
afterwards, Becky.
down to the terrain, these avalanches.
And the
now.
reason they're all going down to the terrain, or the ground as we call it in English, is the reason for that is that because of this really weak layer that's developed because of cold temperatures and a thin snowpack throughout the winter. So it's that combination of the cold temperatures and the thin snowpack that's led to all these avalanches. I've never seen so many avalanches around, and all of them going down to the ground, as Froggy Fred said.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Henry.